teams out there when it comes to spirit of the game. And Dudes, man, this guy will blow your mind, literally, with those grenades. So, I've got great trust that RRQ is one of those good reasons why you see a lot of Steffies in the circle now.
Yeah, I mean, Dudes, the moment he cooks, like, it is delicious. He eats them up. Most of the time, like, it's not just in one squad. You've seen him does it not just in Battle Royale, even in Clash Squad. Give him that opportunity. He will take them out. And like, best grenader ever. That's the first time I will be calling out a name for a title, but he does fit that bill.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, one of the best naders out there in the game. Very accurate, very deadly. And if you don't have the time turner, if you don't have decent enough number of glue walls on your side, glue walls are still dangerous in front of Dudes. If you don't have the Steffi, then you are going to get cooked.
And we saw deep into the Bermuda Circle how many times Steffi appeared on that battlefield and with a single pop was able to save them the trouble of getting naded away. That painted refuge, saving their lives. But of course, the MVP for RRQ in this game is going to be none other than their great sniper Maal, walking in here with the Skylar. Typical sniper build with the passives. 5 eliminations, 2,367
on the damage.
Yeah, and then one of the reasons as well why not only Dudes but the rest of the teams of RRQ are doing well, because you have this guy Maal always having your back on his sniper, getting that information as needed, and without those, you won't be able to make that good play. Now let's see though if this is something that could be proved differently in the next few matches, because PE Sports right now with Booyah, they did put up a good fight, but not so much to gather as much elimination. As you can see, we have Nero with 2 elimination and LBT with 4, but the rest didn't bring that much. Even the damage is not that much for the remaining 2, Nolan and Jonah. So that's a little bit slow, a little bit low, but at least additional 12 points would help.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay as long as they're giving consistent games with decent points instead of clunking out with nothing. 2 times now, Twisted Minds have collected nothing, and that's not good for business. Twisted Minds needs to catch up, and they have to at least perform averagely in these matches. If not, even PE Sports is going to leave them in the dust. Nero, LBT, Nolan, Jonah doing really well this time around. Once again, not too great on the eliminations, Neptune, but I mean, I will not be surprised if, just like Onyx Olympus, they steal it away by the end of the day. Even though it's not a lot, they still maintain that number 1 spot. RRQ, through the tiebreaker, could not overtake them since they walked away with the Booyah. But look at the eliminations here on the side of RRQ. 10 in total, 8 placement points, massive 18. This is what you need if you're RRQ to get up to the top of the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, consistency, even tying it up with the Booyah Takers, and this exactly what they need. As long as they continue this on, 2nd place, 3rd place, you get those numbers of elimination in to balance it out, then you would be activating that champion rush condition a little bit early, and even RRQ knows how to deal with Booyah. They know how to plan out every angle, every corner of the map. Just make sure they will not be caught off guard that easily, and then that hits them, or that keep getting that Booyah towards the end. So that's a storyline that they can follow, that I'm putting up for them, but let's see if they'll be able to push that through.
Yeah, PE Sports, of course, first game, like I said, decent numbers, and now managing to get, if I'm not mistaken, they got 11 points in the first match. So getting 18 puts them at 29, definitely in the top 3. Only big question is going to be where's RRQ Kazu going to be, because they were a little bit more efficient than PE Sports, even without that Booyah. But of course, a quick recap. First 2 games, it's Buriram and PE Sports grabbing these Booyahs on Alpine and Bermuda. We have got a potential 8 more games to go. Champion rush condition has been activated. Teams need to rush to 80 points, after which they need a Booyah. The first team to score a Booyah after reaching 80 points will be crowned the champion.
Let's see though. I mean, it's still a long run for some of the teams. We still just finished 2 matches, And yeah, they are slowly getting close. They are already building up
those numbers, but it seems like they still have a lot more to do. And we keep talking about consistency. We keep talking about teams who need it the most, and like Twisted Mind needed even more. Like I think we jinxed them. They did so well in knockout stage, even in Clash Squad, but I think they still are finding their place in every map of Battle Royale, and they couldn't find it. 2 maps already, they falter in both cases.
I think they need to take responsibility for their own actions. I have got nothing to do with that. I did not curse anybody. Of course, jokes aside, they sure as hell got cursed by me. I mean, they did have a phenomenal run in Clash Squad. The lower bracket run is no small thing. And Twisted Minds doing it really well there. But of course, it's a totally different game mode. In Battle Royale, where there is so much of chaos erupting all around you, are you able to path a great way into that final circle, or do you get crushed by time and the other squads that jump you? Apparently, Twisted Minds just wasn't ready for the heat. Or you could actually look at it from a totally different perspective. Maybe they're a little demotivated after losing the grand finals yesterday up against Falcons.
Let's see though. Let's see. I mean, good storyline. Hopefully they can recover, because despite of them feeling hell at this point, they surely have a good chance to find heaven. And this is what I live for. Always in purgatory, wherein the teams are being put in trial.
Somebody gotta get hurt real bad. What a flight path. So much of chaos here. About to erupt in the grand finals of FFWS Fall. Yeah, teams are gonna fall.
Let's see now who's going to fall first, who's going to fall and pick themselves up. Now, as the teams are already looting up, we are not seeing that much on the kill feed just yet. They are really being cautious. They know the situation that they're in and also preparing for what's at hand. Onyx Olympus, very close to BTR right now. We've seen Heavy as well, who have a few on the horizon, but this is where the game sense, the map awareness is. They know where everyone has dropped because it's very close, and those potential hot drops might be averted. But Twisted Mind, I guess this is where the hunger will begin for them if they can survive against the remaining players of AGAL.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Twisted Minds locking in 0 so far. AGAL, no Soul Squad. And look at Chinoy attacking from the back. MP5, the time turners, just helping them out just a little bit. Cypher in a 1v1. About time before Cougar stepped on out, but the Bass gets the headshot. Cypher down. AGL scrambling away. Chinoy managing to get away far enough, but just with the treatment sniper, couldn't do much as he gets sprayed down. The Bass getting a double for himself with the AUG. And Twisted Minds averting danger early on, picking up their first 3 points in the grand finals today.
See, they can continue this on. Sensi right now on the ground. PE Sports is one putting so much pressure on them. They are doing quite well from the beginning of this game, but with Nolan and LBT a little bit too slippery, Jump is not given an opportunity to be able to go for that shot. The Baz, it was a little bit too much in terms of trajectory, and Nolan wasn't able to land it on him, but Cougar, as he goes in on his side for the flank, he was spotted being taken down.
Yep, fantastic play here. Now Nolan just making one small mistake and leaving LBT in a tight little spot, but he gets the headshot off the Bass.
Double kill.
Drops Bass. Now all up to Jump to end this. P90 up against the MP5. Jump recovering, valiant dash. The time turner saving his life. LBT backing away, great reposition, now has the advantage with the headshot here. Needs a good flick. Jump on the other hand, playing his time well, looking to see if he can get the pickup onto Cougar. LBT not taking advantage of that fall mechanism, and the flank towards the left puts him out of the equation. LBT, what a champ, working that with the P90.
Yeah, P90 indeed. Let's see if this is one thing that they can do with the Bison, especially with Onyx Olympus. Adam right now goes in for the rush, but G'day's already in the ground, and Grime MKS will be taken down. Position from Evos is just pristine. Only Adam remains, and the rush onto the 10th is on. And even that Riptide Rhythm couldn't save anyone. Evo's Divine for elimination has recovered Coach Shield, but the deed has been done. They can go for that vending machine or probably a revived platform. But before even heading to that, we have another engagement in front of us. Team Heavy and Team Falcons, but Eliminate 7 a little bit too quick on that Woodpecker, and a takedown has been done already.
Unbelievable. Twisted Minds getting eliminated so early. PE Sports is on fire. You would have thought that they would be able to get at least one survivor out there into a little bit of a safer haven. Unfortunately, the decision made just did not lead them in that way. Heavy not out of the deep end just yet as they bump into Falcons, losing 2 players. Still high up the leaderboard here. Falcons can do massive damage to Heavy if they take Mufasa out and the revivals just don't go the way of the Vietnamese squad.
See though if that's something that they can make work, especially in this next phase of the circle. Takedown has been done on limit. Now Heavy putting so much of effort and bringing a few of the players from Team Falcons, but the smoke is saving them, and Mufasa might be able to get away a 1v1 situation. And Mufasa, well, unable to fight back, but there goes Kiroro, ending that journey for Mufasa for the moment. And even Don't Cry couldn't get away, couldn't fly in safe or to recover and regroup with his teammates.
A great valiant dash here out of Cypher, breaking down the defense, shutting down Azrael. Has an advantage up against Dix here, but does not lay down his glue wall in time, gets sprayed down in return. Now the rest of the AGL boys are here. Steffi pulled out. Dix can't get away just yet. The time turner was there, but gets sprayed out of the vehicle. Headshot with the MAC-10. And that's exactly how these boys are going to get things done this time around. In Ski Lodge, though, there is a vending machine. Megatron by Vitality has got a lifeline here through Kyong.
Let's see if Kyong will be able to make it work that quick. And 2 on the hunt. Chinoy and 2.
And hiding up, AC-80 might be able to do it. Nade onto him, but he did survive. And Kyung right now will receive a 2-prong. Recovery has been done already. And all I have to do is probably survive a little bit longer. But the pressure of 3 would be too much for Kyung. And BTR would be slowed down once again.
Yeah, absolutely. An AGL advantage. Vending machine got a place to throw their money here. RRQ, on the other hand, circling on in. They've already got the hit list. They know where PE Sports is. Question is, do they want to go for that high ground attack where PE Sports is potentially having a advantage in position?
See though, I mean it seems similar to what we've seen earlier between PE Sports and RQ,
but it is a little bit too early, and I don't think RQ would fall for the same. Not as much as they want, they will take advantage of whatever position that they can get. And Dudes right now, visual on PE Sports, Abe trying to be in as well, but this might be troublesome. If they stay here for long, WAG might be able to spot them, so they move away. A little bit of cover doesn't help, and that's what RQ is planning right now.
Absolutely, dudes. Up top. Not planning to get into a fight just yet, so that Hitless is just going to give them information. They've got the circle anyway, so no point getting aggressive and giving away their defensive position. It's a good decision made here by RRQ. WAG, on the other hand, got a vending machine just beside them, so they don't look like they're going to make any sort of rotation anytime soon. Team's now waiting for the next circle to close on in to show them exactly how they need to route their path towards the next defensive spot.
Yeah, I mean, here comes the warning. The trigger of the blue closing in. WAG on one side. PE Sports on lower end, and this hill would be a good vantage point for the team. A little fun fact for everyone, guys. The first FFWS Southeast Asia was in spring 2024. Didn't get much of that. I was a little too slow in reading it. But anyways, fun fact as well is the Blues closing in and no one's moving an inch.
I've got the fun fact. So first FFWSC was in spring 2024, but Vietnam has still never lifted the trophy. Will that change today? So they're saying that in spring, a little bit of advantage. Now they don't even have that advantage, right? Are they going to be able to make something out of this? If you look at Heavy, if you look at PE Sports, bro, these two squads flying at the top. We expected WAG to be able to do something out there, but it doesn't matter as long as it's one of those Vietnamese squads right now. A great advantage up against EVOS Divine as well, PE Sports. The shots can really cripple EVOS. They make a great rotation. As soon as the elevation is no longer in their favor, they lay out those glue walls. Rasia gets tagged up, but a quick patch up here with the treatment gun. And PE Sports losing a big opportunity, but they burn up their vehicles.
Yeah, vehicle has been burned up. Let's see if this is something they can use as well as cover. As a blue would be closing in a bit. And again, like I mentioned, no one's moving an inch. I believe only a few is not safe to get into the safe zone. It is Heavy as well as BTR, but they're risking a little bit of chip damage as long as they can survive longer, not in any sights of any opponents who's taking the high ground, which is smart.
Yeah. They will be stealthy. They will be quiet. Despite of how much points Heavy has, I think they are, it's a good timing as well, that they are slowing down, because you don't want that aggressiveness, that aggression to go too much to your head and make you overconfident. And that's how they're playing it. They just want to be at number one up until the end.
Absolutely. And of course, there are 8 slots awaiting the squads here from FFWS-C. But also because EVOS Divine has managed to become the champions of the EWC 2025, they've got a slot as well. So the top 9 teams, potentially, because I don't expect to see EVOS not in the top 8. So the top 9 teams will be moving on to the global finals. That's a lot of Southeast Asian teams, and you see exactly why. The quality out of these Free Fire players and squads is unbelievable, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the quality as well as how they improve time after time. It just shows differently every time. Even those coming from previous tournaments and in global finals as well as EWC, it shows the tenacity of Southeast Asia. But speaking of tenacity, here comes Team Falcons right now. A little tenacious against AGAL. AGAL has worked out their plan. Barrows! Almost being taken down, but Guerrero will be taken down by ACAC coming from Do, and this is what they need to take advantage. Now, let's see if Cypher can rush in together with Chinoy plus Barros into play, and all they need to do is take down Pina, but you know how Pina is. He can take out a 1v3 just like that, and it's still showing.
Yeah, absolutely on fire now, circling around, M590 in his hands. Trying to defend up against a full squad of AG Global who have to defend themselves. Glue wall melters, taking out all of their glue walls. And AGL says, hasta la vista, baby. We do not want to take this fight right here, right now. Chinoy, half his health on him. Cypher gets dropped. And the rest of the members are already backing away. So Cypher will be spent. Falcons claim the point. And AGAL live to tell the tale. No shutdown just yet. And it looks like their opponents are not coming in for the pursuit.
I mean, no pursuit. They just want to get away in AGAL. Though they lost Cypher, they still have firepower from afar, but they've lost that CQC potential. So I'm quite sure what would be done, but with all those shots, it seems like it has attracted BTR and shots by Do just to make sure that they will not be pushed. The launchpad is ready. They can reposition. Chinoy had gave that clear on the rush, and they might be able to gatekeep not only Team Falcons, but also BTR.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. Falcons. Looks like somebody clipped a wing out there. Call me for the barbecue, guys. Bigatron by Vitality, circling on in. AGL under a lot of pressure now up against RRQ, stopping them from making any way past them, looking for the next circle. Bigatron by Vitality might just face the same fate, or they might be the distraction that AGAL needs to survive this encounter. Heavy turning around, being pressured by RRQ, looking for the players of EVOS. RRQ taking shots at everybody at the same time.
Let's see, though. I mean, RRQ just take advantage of the situation, making sure that everyone they spot will receive damage. Even Divine, though,
being quiet and being targeted by Team Heavy. Allen with M79, a takedown on the one, and switches position and focus onto BTR. So we're seeing some similarities. Earlier it was RQ, now it's Team Heavy, but unfortunate for them, it's just being too much. A lot of challenge will be coming in from both sides, and let's see if they'll be able to survive without Mufasa.
Big turn by Vitality shut down as well. RRQ still on fire. Ma'al just playing a lot of risk out there. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses, and now looking for the circle as it leaves them high and dry. Still maintaining a good spot on that high ground. Their next contender could just be Buriram. Buriram a little caught up by GOW. WAG taking a shot from afar, putting down a player from the side of GOW. Battles happening all around. Where will Buriram focus fire? Wasana with the RGS 50, a couple of grenades. Jonah cooking it up as well. GOW, do you have a Steffi? They pull out the time turner instead to survive a couple of extra seconds.
Oh yeah, extra second that they need to be able to dominate this game. But Team Heavy will be taken out, and GOW receiving a lot of damage, a lot of pressure from both sides. From low ground as well as the high ground, RQ would want to end this. And 18 Deer, a little bit too aggressive. Cord in hand, might be able to mow down anyone, especially if those glue walls from Buddha United will be let go, will be cleared out. But they go for that rush, and GOW in trouble.
Yeah, breaking down the defenses. Jonah gets one. Wasana shut down. WAG hitting far from far. RRQ chipping away at them as well. Buriram 3 players down. Wasana all alone. Has to keep his head down. An advantage taken from afar. GOW bodied by RRQ, and RRQ is the biggest winner of that encounter after ambushing all those players from the back. What an advantage taken by the most consistent team out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they do have advantage. They do have visual. The moment they saw Brim United, they just planned it out that quickly on how to approach it. Now, RQ 10 elimination, lost dudes in process, but now 18 Deer, Charge Buster in hand, will try to get a higher ground. As long as they're safe, as long as they have potential of moving in and out of that situation, then they will try to do so. But WAG, Riptide Rhythm, plus M79, it seems like RRQ would be pushed away. And WAG is a team that's doing it.
Yeah, what a nade, bro. What a nade. WAG pelting down RRQ one after the other and removing one of the best grenadiers from the fight. And now another Indonesian contender right in front of them. WAG looking for EVOS themselves. Kochil down on the ground. The pickup is instantaneous. PLS1 pushing on fourth. Tikui looking for the aim with the M79. Grenade launcher. And PLS1 with the M590 finding the perfect connection. Riptide Rhythm falling short. They can't find WAG. And Vietnam is on fire.
Definitely. I mean, they are on fire. They're showing everyone that despite of not getting there first, they might be able to end it right here, right now. And it's just the rise of the Vietnamese region in this grand finals. And we're loving every second of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked about this. We talked about how at EWC 2025, the teams that rose up to the top were all from Indonesia. Vietnam has not had their chance just yet. We started off last year in spring 2024. Vietnam has not scored that top spot just yet. And today, Heavy, PE Sports, and now WAG. What a crazy climb to the top. But we cannot deny the consistency out of RRQ. Absolutely deadly. But once again, this was that final sequence. That Riptide Rhythm just falling short a little bit. Xbor able to take 2 steps back and build up his own blue walls.
And I think that shook EVOS right there and then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, EVOS could have had an advantage if they can rotate towards the right or their right and get away from all those engagements. Probably surprise WAG as they go a ring around the rosy, but unfortunately they couldn't. Rasia even on the ground, and that is what distracted them in trying to move with all those rotations being done. But it is what it is at this point. You make decisions, and at some point,
some mistakes will slip through right through. The only question, though, is were they able to bring that much point to put themselves higher? Because it seems like especially for Evo's Divine, they are shorting out on numbers.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge the fact that earlier on, EVOS Divine, after 2 games, only had 7 points, right? And if you look at WAG, after 2 games, they only had 12 points. So there's quite a bit of climbing that's needed here for both WAG and EVOS. So it does not compare to the success that we just saw RRQ walk away with, because RRQ Kazu was already at the very top. RRQ might have not been able to get the booyah. They are still saying, Mustachio, we got your back, bro. You tell Garena. Still, no booyah, no problem. For now.
For now. That's one thing that they have been doing, stacking up the points. They're just playing it well. I mean, every time, in most cases, they just know how to find their position. And we did mention earlier, they faltered when they were trying to take that spot against PE Sports, but not this time. Not this time. They know that there's another way. There's always a plan B, plan C for this team, and they're activating it right now. And we might see more of that onto the next matches. We might see more of that into the next game, because our 4th map is in Kalahari. And you know who reigns in Kalahari? It's RRQ.
And, you know, it was great decision-making by the squad as well, right? Just waiting for the opportune moment. GOW attacked by Buriram, and they could have gone in there for the rush, but they allowed Buriram to do the dirty work first, and then came in there, not to clean up house in an aggressive manner. They just had the vantage point, and they were stealing bodies away from Buriram. Buriram got the knocks. They did the hard work. They were in there with the hustle, and RRQ smiling all the way to the bank, because they were cashing out the elimination points by just nicking off a couple of extra shots in there. And then they shut down Buriram as well. Since Wasana was the only one on his feet, everybody else was down on the ground. RRQ
just to great advantage, and that's what you need to do if you want to survive such a cutthroat lobby out here in Southeast Asia. That's just 3 games, Neptune. We are just getting started, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it might still be a long run, but some of the teams are already getting close in activating that champion rush condition. And again, there's a few more that could have changed, a few more that could have been done to make sure that some of the teams get there faster. But you know how it is. It's not easy. There's a lot of changes that could have been done by the team, but you just couldn't pull away. You just couldn't pull away in what needs to be planned out. What needs to be happen in some instance. Some teams look safe in engagement until someone else knocks at their door. GW was one of those.
Yes.
They seem safe on the tower, but who knocked on their door? It was Brim United, and then there was RRQ as well on the high ground. Or was it WAG? But RRQ definitely ended that deal. And that's one thing. You need to be one step ahead of your opponent. You need to be able to plan out how it's going to turn up, and then you take advantage of it. And it seems like RQ is doing the best in that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they were in the right spot. Of course, a little bit of luck to the spot that they were in and the kind of fights that were happening in front of them. But it was all about that split-second decision-making by the captain. And, you know, basically like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hold back first, and we're going to try to nick off the points. And, you know, from planning to execution, I think the squad got that done really well. Twisted Minds, again, crashing out very early. Only 4 points in their hands this time around. The only points that they have picked up in all 3 games. I think they're suffering a super low season right now, right after the disappointing showing in the Clash Squad Grand Finals. I don't blame them if they're a little bit demotivated after that scoreline. But you got to pick yourself up, right? And you got to hope and pray that the champion rush condition is on your side, that the teams wait long enough for you to recover points, because Twisted Minds currently down dead at the bottom with only 4 points, and you know, teams like GOW, Bigatron by Vitality, doing so much better than them, even if they are still struggling. So this is something that Twisted Minds need to look for, and RRQ Kazu with that victory should be one massive game away from activating champion rush in the following game. If they can get, let's say, a 30-pointer or a 30-plus pointer game in this next matchup, and you said they've got a little bit of advantage here, just a little bit, you know, and if they can use that advantage, if they can go berserk, if they can farm those eliminations, get the booyah as well, RRQ Kazu could potentially activate this champion rush condition as early as the end of game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if they continue this on, and you know that it's achievable. The 30 points is achievable at this point. But, well, let's see, though, on how this is going to turn up. I believe we have a little bit of interview that will be happening as well. And, oh, a little bit of video as well for everyone to enjoy.
ตอนนี้ทางฟรีไฟของเราตื่นเต้นมากๆเลยค่ะที่จะได้ประกาศอย่างเป็นทางการนะคะกับการคอลแลบครั้งยิ่งใหญ่ครั้งใหม่ของฟรีไฟค่ะคอลแลบกับดิจิมอนแอดเวนเจอร์นั่นเองค่ะทุกคนค่ะถูกใจน้องๆที่นี่ใช่ไหมล่ะคะทุกคนบอกเลยค่ะว่าการคอลแลบครั้งนี้ค่ะจะเต็มไปด้วยความกล้าหาญมิตรภาพและเซอร์ไพรส์แบบจัดเต็มแน่นอนรอกันไม่นานค่ะพฤศจิกายนนี้เจอกันแน่นอนค่ะFree Fire are incredibly excited to announce an epic collaboration with Digimon Adventure. Prepare for an experience packed with courage, friendship, and huge surprises on this November. และในตอนนี้ค่ะทุกคนคะไม่ต้องรอช้าแล้วเพราะว่า Handsome Boy from Indonesia อยู่ตรงนี้แล้วนะคะเราอยู่กับตัวแทนจาก RQ Dus นั่นเอง Welcome Dus เย้มีคำถามอยากจะถามหนุ่มหล่อตรงนี้สักหน่อยได้ข่าวว่าเป็นขวัญใจใครหลายๆคนค่ะว่าคู่แข่งเนี่ยได้สร้างความลำบากให้เขาบ้างไหมคะกับเกมที่เพิ่งเล่นจบไป
Alright, let's move on to our interview. Hello, Caroline. And hello. Your opponents put up a tough fight. What was the biggest challenge they presented, and how did your team adapt to overcome it?
Oke, Dots. Jadi pertanyaannya adalah ngelihat gimana penampilan dari lawan tadi yang luar biasa banget, memberikan perlawanan yang cukup menyulitkan juga buat RRQ. Gimana kalian tadi beradaptasi dan gimana juga akhirnya kalian bisa kemudian menjadi tim dengan salah satu torehan poin terbanyak sejauh ini?
Gak ada sih, kita cuma do the best aja sih, lakuin yang terbaik. Ya pengen jadi yang paling terbaik lah.
Jadi nggak ada strategi apapun, mindsetnya hanya ingin melakukan yang terbaik aja.
Ya nggak ada, kalau ada musuh depan kita ya kita hajar aja terus.
Okay, so what he's saying is that they don't really have any special plan, any special strategy. The mindset is just to do their best and face whatever team, whichever team is on their way.
The adaptation is so good right here.
I know, right?
Really cool. That is the part that I really like about RQ. About you, Yuki?
ดูไม่ค่อยกลัวอะไรเลยอ่ะไม่ได้มีแผนอะไรเป็นพิเศษอ่ะรู้แต่ว่าทีมไหนเข้ามาก็พร้อมเจอหมดนี่ไว้ธรรมดาจริงๆนะคะสำหรับทีมนี้ไม่แปลกใจเลยว่าปีนี้เขามาแรงเอามากๆค่ะทุกคนคะอ่ะอยากรู้ค่ะคือว่าเราอ่ะเคยฟังกันมาแล้วทีมไทยเราสื่อสารอินเกมกันยังไงอยากรู้ค่ะว่าปกติแล้วสไตล์การสื่อสารภายในทีมของทางอินโดนีเซียเนี่ยเขาสื่อสารกันยังไงคะเล่าให้ฟังหน่อยได้ไหม
Alright, the second question. The teamwork today was incredible. Can you talk about the team's communication? And is there a special shout out you want to give a teammate for a key play?
Oke, jadi mereka ngelihat kalau teamwork dari RRQ Kazu tuh hari ini luar biasa bagus banget. Apa sih kuncinya dan bisa nggak mungkin disampaikan siapa yang berperan penting dalam menyampaikan pesan-pesan itu? Siapa yang bisa dikatakan sebagai shot caller dan ada nggak teman yang mau kamu kasih shout out juga di momen ini karena komunikasinya sangat baik di game tadi?
Ya nggak ada sih, kayaknya semuanya juga lakuin yang terbaik lah. Jadi semuanya yang terbaik lah pokoknya. Semua lakuin yang terbaik.
Shot callernya siapa? Kamu?
Semuanya.
Semuanya. Bukan kamu nih?
Bukan.
So he's saying that everyone communicates really well. He can't really pinpoint someone who does better because right now they're all trying to give their best and it actually shows. Even Duts is usually the shot caller of the game, but today everyone just do everything in sync. Just one of those days where RRQ is having such a great time playing together, and I think the chemistry just shows.
Okay, so who did he give the shout out to?
he didn't really give any specific shout out because he thinks that each and every single one of the team members played really well. So it's a whole team effort.
Good captain.
โอ้โห เป็นกัปตันแต่เขาแบบไม่เทคเครดิตเลยนะเขาบอกว่าทั้งทีมมันคือเล่นดีกันหมดเลยก็แบบจะเลือก MVP 1 คนมันเลือกยากอะเนาะงั้นเอาอย่างนี้ดีกว่าเดาว่าแฟนๆนะคะทั้งที่นี่แล้วก็ที่รับชมอยู่ที่อินโดนีเซียออนไลน์ทั่วไปเลยในตอนนี้ที่กำลังรับชมอยู่เนี่ยน่าจะอยากได้ยินข้อความจากทาง RQ และฝากอะไรถึงแฟนๆหน่อยดีกว่าค่ะ
Alright, so do you have any message you want to send to everyone, the viewers, your fans, or your supporters?
Ya buat Kingdom support kita terus lah sampai turnamen ini selesai. Semoga kita bisa ambil lah piala di sini.
To all Kingdom out there, please continue on supporting us. Hopefully we can lift and bring this trophy home for RRQ Kazu and for all Kingdoms out there.
They're in a very good way, so good luck.
Thank you.
แน่นอนแหละเธอต้องใช้โชคเมื่อเจอกับทีมไทย โอเค แต่ว่าเมื่อกี้เราเพิ่งเปิดวิดีโอไปใช่ไหมคะทุกคน แล้วมันมีการคอลแลบครั้งยิ่งใหญ่กับ Digimon Adventure เลยอยากรู้ค่ะว่าในฐานะนักแข่งเนี่ยรู้สึกยังไงบ้างกับการคอลแลบครั้งนี้
Alright, for the previous video we just watched,
What do you feel about our newest collaboration of Free Fire and Digimon? Gimana pendapat kamu ngelihat kolaborasi terbarunya Free Fire sama Digimon dan tadi kita udah saksikan juga sama-sama seperti apa VT trailer ya?
Keren sih, semoga collab-collabnya makin keren aja.
It's a really cool collaboration and he look forward into seeing much more collaborations between Free Fire and many other things in the future.
glad to hear. Alright then, this is the end of our interview. Thank you so much and congratulations to Dudes and RQ are having such a great performance today. Thank you Yuki and thank you to our translator Caroline. So this is the end of our interview. Let's take a little bit of break before we jump into our next game.
เสร็จสิ้นอินเทอร์วิวไปแล้วเรียบร้อยนะคะทุกคนเดี๋ยวเราพักเบรกกันสักครู่หนึ่งค่ะแล้วกลับมามันกันต่อในเกมต่อไป
สวัสดีครับ ผมเบียร์ยูโมชิครับ
สวัสดีครับ ผมวันมอครับ มาจากทีมฟอร์คอนครับ
Nama gue Rasya.
Xin chào mọi người, mình là WZ Bo. สวัสดีครับ ผมเบียร์ยูโมชิครับ
สวัสดีครับ ผมวันมอครับ มาจากทีมฟอร์คอนครับ
Nama gue Rasya, gue dari tim Evos Divine.
Kalau gue Duts dari tim RRQ dan hari ini gue bakal main
Repeat Fine Creation
AWM.
AC 80.
ปืนที่ชอบที่สุดนะครับ เป็นปืนก๊อกครับก๊อก8หรือ15ไม่รู้
Khẩu súng ưa thích của mình là AC80.
คู่ต่อสู้ที่น่ากลัวที่สุด
ไม่มีครับ
Falcon.
Falcon.
Đối thủ khó nhận nhất chắc là Buriram.
ผู้ต่อสู้ที่น่ากลัวที่สุดนะครับ คือทีมเราเองครับน่ากลัวจุด เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวทีมพาเราพังไปบ่อยแล้ว
Dog.
Trainers.
กอกแก้วครับ
จุดโดดน่าจะเป็นกอกสวรรค์ครับ
Khu ghét nhảy nhất là vùng vịnh Massaman. Ngã đối đầu nhất chắc là Limit bên Falcon.
Nggak ada.
วันมอครับ
Gak ada.
นักแข่งที่น่ากลัวไม่มีใครน่ากลัว
หนึ่งคำเพื่ออธิบายทีมตัวเอง
ดุดัน
Harimau putih.
À, 2.
โง่ดีครับดี
Strong. Maal.
เคโรโลครับ
นั่งอยู่ตรงนี้ครับ
Văn Võ.
Em God.
วัฒนาครับ
Maal.
พีนาครับ
วัฒนาครับ
I'm God.
ลิมิตครับ
Maal.
Ray.
วัฒนาครับ
ออนไฟครับ
Racing. Sekolah.
ไปชกมวย
Hài ước chắc là Văn Võ.
Pro player game lain.
ผมจะเป็นนักธุรกิจพันล้านๆเป็นคนที่รวยที่สุดอันดับหนึ่งของโลก
แผนที่ที่ชอบที่สุด
เนคลาครับ
Kalahari.
Purgatory.
ทะเลทรายครับ เพราะว่ามีสลิงเคลื่อนที่ไหวครับ
ai là người dẫn dẫn nước team của chị thua
Chắc là em luôn. Thích Bo.
Mang. I'm God.
เคโรโลครับ
Abai.
วัฒนาครับต้องเป็นทีมนี้ครับ WG โนนหนึ่งจัด
Buriram.
Tôi nhận nhất chắc là Falcon.
ทีมฟอร์คอนครับ
Semua tim.
วันนี้ก็จบไปแล้วนะครับกับเกม Repeat Fire Creation นะครับ
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, survivors of all ages. This is once again the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia 2025 fall season, the grand finals, where Champion Rush is finally in activation. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustachio, down here with my brother Neptune, the gentleman Garcia. We are your casters for the day. 3 matches have elapsed, and the teams still have got to go a little bit further. And you know what comes in really handy, Neptune? Maybe a crack of that. Yeah. I think Neptune, you got to check your microphone. So some people are saying, Neptune's lips look sexy when they're moving, but we do not understand what he's saying.
Yeah, as I was saying, I mean, they need to trust that energy. They need to make sure that they maintain that all throughout, because some of the teams are really showing up right now, and that's RRQ. The reason why Dudes has been interviewed as well, and we want to see more of that. What they're aiming right now is to activate that Champion Rush condition and not get the Booyah just yet. And we know how it is with a Champion Rush. You need to activate that 80, and they're very close.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They just need 30 points more. Well, specifically 29 points, and 29 points is very doable, right? Especially if you are RRQ. And here's the surprising thing. Buriram, after 3 games, only have 10 eliminations. Where's the ferocious Buriram? Where are the monsters? Where are the 2-time world champs that can take anyone on? They seem to be sleeping. Time is running out. Buriram did show up strong on Alpine, but even then it was not one that was strong in terms of eliminations, Neptune, and they have to think about this one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're still far away, but like judging from the gap between all the teams right now, especially in the top 5, Buriram United can still overtake them, given that RQP Sports, even Heavy, will not get any points. And that's what they need to work on. 16 points below RQ. And if they can end the reign of the top 3, then they might be able to get it on this next match. But Kalahari, you know how deadly RQ is. I have pointed that out already. And this is one thing that everyone needs to be cautious. If someone can deny them of that refinery, that Overwatch, those platforms, then that will be a good story for any other teams to be able to grab that booyah. If not, RQ might be seeing another huge role in terms of gathering a lot of points. And we need to talk about this, like close to 30 points easily can be done. We've seen it so much more.
Yes, basically, Neptune, what you are trying to tell me is Buriram is trying to say to the whole world, calm down. Picture abhi baki hai mera dost. There's still a little bit more in this movie. We haven't even reached the climax just yet. And yeah, maybe that is the case. We want to see what Buriram can bring to the table. But time is running out, and Vietnam is hungry. PE Sports, 1 booyah so far in the day. Not a lot of eliminations, just like Buriram, but slightly better. But where they do excel is they have got 24 placement points. They have been very consistent getting into the circle. They need to keep this up, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And they need to keep this up. They need to continue this role. WAG already grabbed that booyah, but you did point it out earlier that they didn't get so much on the first 2. So if they can continue in grabbing great placement point, adding a few more of elimination on that, then we might be seeing a few, or if not 3 teams taking over the top 5 coming from Vietnam. But there's still a huge threat that someone else might be sneaking through. But before we go anywhere else, let's take a look at our head-to-head between RRQ, Kazu, as well as PE Sports. Elimination, we've seen it. RRQ has more of that, even damage, and it's that it just translates to how much they can bring into the table. But PC Esports will not be slowing down that easily. I sure hope not, because this is a story that they have been following for the longest time. They pop off in the early parts and then die down towards the end, and we want to see the rise of Vietnam.
Yeah, absolutely. And PE Sports is not too far away from RRQ. Only 11 points sit between them, and 10 out of those 11 points are the difference in terms of eliminations. So PE Sports needs to kind of twerk it up a little bit in terms of what they can do out there with the eliminations, but maintain a decent balance to not go all out where they start making mistakes, because consistency is still key here. Just because RRQ makes it past the 80 points does not mean that they cannot make it into the 80 points as well. So consistency still remains to be key for PE Sports. Heavy not too far away from them, if I've talked so well about PE, with Heavy just 1 point behind PE Sports. Obviously, this Vietnamese team can do something great out there as well. You mentioned that Buriram can still catch up because there's not too many points. WAG 6 points behind Buriram. Vietnam again, I mean, this is great. This is something that we were hoping for them, but to see them actually do it out there is beautiful, Neb.
Yeah, well, it's so beautiful, similar to what we're seeing from the crowd right now. I'm not talking about Lady, but everyone out there anticipating what's about to happen. The beauty of having everyone in one stage just brings that energy into the battlefield. That brings that energy into pouring to the teams right now who really needs it. And hopefully
You're lucky,
they can...
You're lucky because you said, not just the ladies, because I was about to call your wife. You see what Neptune's saying on broadcast.
I'm pretty sure she's listening right now.
But of course, the chat is loving the cameraman. The chat wants the cameraman to get a raise. The chat is saying the cameraman knows his priorities. So
yeah, he knows the assignment, bro. He knows the
understood.
assignment. Understood the assignment.
Takes his job very seriously. Cameraman's still going at it.
Yeah, it's a good thing that there's plenty of view to show. Otherwise, like, he will be left out, just bringing it back to the players out there. And well, we'll see more of that. We'll see more of that. Again, the teams are aiming to activate the champion rush. They're aiming to end this game quite early, but let's see what contention is going to happen, because it seems like there's no more waiting for the heated battle into the heated map of Kalahari.
Oh, and the flight path just wants to take a dig at us yet again. The kings of Kalahari are heading to refinery. They want to milk out as much of that oil from the ground as they can from this high ground advantage here, RRQ. They've used it to find a total of 4 booyahs for themselves so far on this map, the most in comparison to any other squad out there. They are the most dominant, they are the most effective, they are the most consistent. Now, I hope I've cursed them enough.
Stretch it. Oh, make it stretch on throughout the match.
I need to give them more. Okay, let's save RRQ a little bit of the curses. We don't want to focus too much on them. For all you know, they might put a twisted minds on me, bro.
Twisted mind, real twisted at this point, but 4 on fire, missing that shot. Alan, MP5 in hand, plus backup is here. A little bit of ice grenade action to chip on again on fire, but UAV saves him to recover. And let's see if this is something that on fire can probably end, or backup might be near, because it seems like players from Heavy are stacking up against him. Even Pina would be very far to make this play, but it does have a long range, which is an AC-80 that might help on fire survive that.
Baros stealing some shots, has the time turn and buy himself a little bit more time, but what a flick by Abe. Baros shut down by an LMG. So unlucky. Just needed one more jump away, and the mechanism kicked in at the wrong time, putting him down and out. AGAL, one final survivor as Heavy finds Falcons.
Falcons, Heavy going in for the fight, and it's a good thing that like the recovery has been done by On Fire, buys a lot more time for the rest of the teams to move in and help him out. Now, we are still seeing a few of the players from the outside, like Happy as well as Mufasa, who will not be helping out Alan and Don't Cry right now. So they are building that insurance policy at this point so that not everything is at risk. And let's see if Team Falcons can get away, because it's just taking so much time and they don't play this way.
Yeah, AG looking for that hit list on the final survivor of AG Global. Chinoy down. AG's not catching a break at all as Tororo finds Alan's head. And Koda already used earlier on Mufasa as he tries to get up close and personal. Tororo stops him with the M590. Phenomenally done by Falcons. Mufasa expanded, On Fire turning the corner, and the Drogon gets Don't Cry as well. Falcons going for the ones that are leading the top of the leaderboard with RRQ.
Hell, let's see, Team Falcons, they are close in terms of scores before this game started, and they are now slowly building that up. 3 eliminations already to their side, and this is what we see often from Team Falcons. The moment that they see themselves a little bit low or lower compared to what they expect them to be, they slowly build up that momentum. And it's seldom that we see Team Falcons go this aggressive in the early part and even wait it out with the team that they're targeting. So I guess it's still paying dividends for them, but they need to move. A lot more of teams will be closing in, and WAG seeing Onyx Olympus slowly closing the gap between them, but PLS1 might be in trouble in a bit because he's out in the open. Only glue walls and a few compounds can save him.
Good day, Drogon in hand. Players on the side of WAG not close enough to him just yet. And Onyx just waiting patiently. The XM8 could get the range though. PE Sports spotting out Aim God. He was divine, not looking very divine at this point of time in this clash up against PE. Time Turner pulled out. Kochil out top. Jonah spots out Rasya, but doesn't turn around to take him down just yet. Kochil hanging on for his dear life. LPT looking for that cover as Jonah catches up with him. Ray on the rotation. Drogon meeting the players of PE, but a fantastic blue wall still keeping them alive. From up top, Kochil M590 as well, and RRQ dropping on in at the wrong time. Thankfully, it was just one player expanded instantaneously.
Yeah, I mean, Dutz is in there trying to surprise everyone, lobbing a grenade into the window, but he was being spotted out. Now, he was divine, winning this fight, through elimination on the end, and it seems like PE Sports would be in trouble. This is a place that we don't want them to be seen, and a quick recovery has been done onto Nero, with a 1v1 to the side. Backs turned against Ray, and he will be taken down, but still, they managed to bring back their teammates. PE Sports is not down just yet.
Not down indeed, and that was a valiant save by Nero. Hopping on outside, the finisher came a little slow, and that allowed PE Sports to hit that double revival. LBT brought back by Nolan, returning the favor, and PE Sports continue to survive. Bigatron by Vitality, on the other hand, have shrines all to themselves, but I would not get too comfortable there.
Let's see though, if there's something that they can work on. Brim United taking high ground as well. BTR targeting PE Sports. And 18 Deer on the hit list. They know they're coming in, and Jonah will not survive Hoja at that point. Quick putback will be done by onto one players, and Nolan as well needs to be revived. The rest of PE Sports already out of Old Hampton. They will be going into a new place as BTR right now is trying to race to get those points. They are currently in 9th place or 10th place before this game, and they will be able to get a few more points in because they're still a full squad. For GOW though, a team from Vietnam that needs those points, are just laying about waiting for the perfect opportunity. But we've seen them do this. It's just when someone has a jump on them, they fall.
Oh, now AG Global looking for PE Sports. Will find Nolan first off. Not before he takes Barros down onto the ground. Nero waiting to strike, and AG actually backing away from this engagement. There is a vending machine here. Nero needs to sneak in. He's got 400 coins. He can only have one revival. Does he sacrifice himself to get one of his team members back in here? PE Sports looks like he doesn't even need to do that, but he's going to be the one that needs a little bit of reviving.
Yeah, he needs reviving. He needs a little bit of help. And let's see if that would happen. Kabi right now might be able to spot out LBT. A little bit of damage. And there goes the shot. Her chase is on. And Heavy just putting so much of firefight in this. As despite of Don't Cry putting one man down, the rest of the team's always on there on the hunt.
Yeah, smart play there. But PE Sports, they are crippled. They just keep fighting for revivals here. Revive after revive. Now Nero hitting a double revive again, bringing back his members into this match. If they don't slip away on the outskirts of the circle and get lucky with the loot, this could just be an early end for PE as Buriram looks for Onyx. They find the first target, all thanks to Wasana and that God. Putra on the left, he's going to stay silent. Crime made some noise and he's going to pay for it.
Crime right now.
Double
well, Law would put him down. And the Law right now is Brim United, Jonah and the rest of the teams just dealing with crime. Just dealt with crime, now will be dealing with Putra. And couldn't even get close to that vending machine. He will need to survive a little bit longer, but he's not giving any breathing space by Brim United, and everyone's just gunning him. Even the Time Turner doesn't save him, and there goes another down from Onyx Olympus. Only one remains.
There's a time delay when you use it against two people, unfortunately. Doesn't turn time around, just pauses it for a moment. before you get eliminated. Kyung trying to fly over WAG. They instantly shoot him out of the sky. AGL up against WAG this time round. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses up front, but they pull out the Steffi. Smart play by the Vietnamese squad. They respond with 2 grenades. Massive ones. Steffi still keeping them up on their feet, but Cypher and Chinoy cutting down the distance. He's got a Max 7 in his hands as well, leaving Cyrus now to defend the front lines. The rest of WAG, they say hasta la vista and they get out of there.
Yeah, Cyrus right now. Let's see if he'll be able to get away. A good shot might bring him down, and he does go down from the hands of one of the best snipers from Southeast Asia, Ju. And let's see, if the 3 eliminations already for AG Global team that was almost being taken down earlier in the early engagement and the onset of this game. But WAG, the ones in trouble, and who's hunting them? It's Buriram United, who's getting very, very close.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Buriram, just on the left inside of WAG. One mistake in this rotation could mean the end for WAG as they look for those revivals. EVOS, on the other hand, in great vantage point to engage with Heavy. Bigatron on the double revival. But Falcons will find a couple of their players. Getting them out of the equation. Twisted Minds. Getting twisted inside out by RRQ. This is their house. Twisted Minds seem to have it twisted in their heads, thinking that they belong on Refinery. RRQ about to tell them they don't.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, SVD from Dutz to bring him down. Only 1 remains. And again, trouble spurs for Twisted Mind. As we look into the most elimination coming from 3 players. Ma'al with 11, LBT with 10, and Allen with 9. And Vietnam is really showing up right now, not only for its as a team, but also as individuals. But let's see if that continues on. There's a few more that would be happening, and all they have to do is wait, especially for Heavy. A lot is swarming, a lot of teams swarming towards them or surrounding them, and it would be even more because as the blue closes in, we still have 12 teams remaining, and all those engagements might be happening real soon.
If Twisted Minds is hiding away some strats, they better be showing it to us right here, right now. They've got only 1 final survivor in there. I at least hope he's got some money to buy his friends back. PE Sports dealing with a little bit of heavy fire, courtesy of Pina. But he will have to move eventually as the circle leaves them high and dry. Jump pad to catch up with Kororo, who went there as the scout to make sure the drop spot is all clear. Fantastic rotation by Falcons. This is what the other teams, you hope to see them do, but then sometimes the chaos out there is just too much now.
Yeah, let's see if they'll be able to get through the chaos or probably calm it down. And that's fortunate for them. Into the crosshairs, not only onto RRQ, who's slowly putting them down, but also GOW. Only PLS1 only remaining. Let's see if he will be pleading for his life at this point, because Abe will not be slowing down. M590 holds in the hands of both players, but a 1v2 might be something that he can wish he can win, and he did so. He survived, but pickup has been done. Recovery is the best that he can do for the moment.
WAG standing up against RRQ, winning it out as well. A decent chance to find something, but an early end either way. First team to get eliminated is the one that puts a dent in the armor of RRQ early on in this game, but a lot of time for recovery here.
Let's see. Time is not on anyone's side at this point. A lot is already being pushed in against each other, and one of those is Twisted Mind, who needs most of the points. Pressure from Onyx Olympus that has been pulled away by Putra, but BTR is also into the mix. But right now, just weaving in through, but Kyung up close and personal against Bass and Jump. But the first team to be taken out will be Onyx Olympus. Putra, the only guy remaining, has been taken out by Twisted Mind. But the pressure of the blue, the pressure of all those gunshots is there.
Yeah, now Twisted Minds is fighting against the circle and their own dead weight, trying to circle around. And the timing has to be right here up against GOWS. EVOS now gets eliminated prematurely. Heavy finding the players on the side of Bigatron as well. Falcons from the outside, dropping in those shots. Kororo gets traded out, but the instantaneous pickup. Falcons focusing on keeping their numbers alive as PE Sports falters up against Heavy.
Bro, in the last 2 minutes, I would say 1 minute, we've seen a lot, 4 if not 5 teams eliminated. That is the threat of having 12 teams in this phase of the circle. Heavy.
Oh yeah.
Facing heavy damage. Only 3 remains, and GOW
Oh,
above
yeah.
them. RQ
Oh, yeah.
eliminated by GOW, and there will be a new king of Kalahari by the end of this game. And let's see who will that be.
Yep, and they also flatten out their brothers from Vietnam. Heavy, facing heavy losses up against GOW, but did that luck run out? Falcons now aiming for the boys of GOW Limit. So managing the deep freeze, snuck in there. There's a few more HP, and he manages to get that knock. RIP, all alone in here. Tagged up by Limit as well. A sliver of health left on him. Grenade does not clip him. All thanks to the time turner, but the circle for RIP had the super med, and that's his only lifeline right now.
Let's see if he can still move in because the targets, they are targeting Kororo with a God Nade, ending GOW. AG right now, a little bit distracted by Bremen United, but Falcons have a good chance to go in for the flank. A good backstab might happen with all those hookers activated. Limit 7 with a group into the time turner. They go, and VRU backs away. Now pressure from 2 or make that 3 Thailand teams in here, and AG Global is just waiting it out. Good from side rhythm as Bremen United deals with Team Falcons. This might be a chance that AG Global can end this game and grab that booyah.
Putting on a show for Thailand. The home crowd absolutely delighted. It was an all-out final Thai circle, and you know it was spicy. What a play by AGAL. Taking advantage at the right time, in the right place. Buriram got father. This is that opportunity since the previous Kings of Kalahari got toppled here on the grand finals. Now, we don't know if or not we're going to get another Kalahari if we do go the distance today. Maybe then RRQ can plan a little bit of a comeback, but this time around, Thailand wanted to insist that this map does not belong to Indonesia anymore.
Definitely. I mean, even Evo Divider can survive longer to see the end of that fight. But this is the final moment where we've seen a lot of pressure being put in against Bremen United and Team Falcons, and that's what AG Global was waiting for. They have a good spot from far away, even a slower circle, to go against them, to force them in. And with the firepower that they have, and we know that they have evolved in not just a long-range team, but also a CQC-enabled team, they could have just ended it right there. But still, the tactics remains for a team. They want to be safe. They want to be cautious and secure that with a full squad.
AGAL is only 7 points behind Buriram. With this victory, do they leap over them as they look for the top 3? Because you said it right, Neptune. After RRQ, the points are so close to each other on the overall leaderboard. One massive gain can get you to climb up to the top. And WAG just this time could not cut it, but initially they performed phenomenally well up against RRQ, really thinning down their numbers and also reducing the probability of an RRQ booyah here.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, I'm excited to see how many points they have grabbed in this game, because so far that storyline that we just mentioned, I mean, how we set it up, wherein there's only a few gaps between them. They managed to get points, but it's not that much, because it's only towards the end when everyone was targeting each other. It's not just one team dominating. A lot of those elimination has been spread out, and it might be close to whoever would be on that number 1. But before we go anywhere else, we are energized right now to really bring on the game to a close to an end, if it is what the teams need, because we are powered up by Red Bull, and definitely the zinc and vitamins does work. You do have that can. I know you have been holding on that for a very long time, wishing that you'll be able to drink, take a sip of that, but you do have right now.
I didn't take one. I took two. All right. Today is powered up by Red Bull. The past 2 seasons. This one as well as spring.